Hey, konnichiwa, it's Gray from Okazashi's Tea House over in Japan. How you doing? Are you good? Are you Genki? Okay, I've got an indie comic review today. This is from Image Comics. It is the team that brought you That Texas Blood. I don't know if you read that. That's Chris Condon, the writer, and Jacob Phillips, the artist, who is the son of the wonderful Sean Phillips. This is the Enfield Gang Massacre, issue 1. Now, as far as I know, it's going to be a mini-series, and it's basically going back to the Old West, going back in time, exploring where the characters come from, exploring the county that Texas Blood is set in. And I tell you what, this was a really nice surprise. It's got some fantastic art by Jacob Phillips, really good sort of limited colouring, really stands out, and the writing by Chris Condon's great. It's a classic, go back to the Wild West style. It's got the bank robbery, it's got the kind of the weird curiosity show, there's so much in here, and it sets up nicely for, I don't know how many issues it's going to be. I think it's going to be probably between 4, 5 or 6, but it sets up the story nicely for what's going to come. And yeah, just great writing, really good art. So let's have a look inside the cover. Here we go. I mean, just little details like this. Look at that. How cool is that as a credits page? You've got the 6 shooters there. And it's only $3.99, this comic book. I had to get a digital copy because of where I am in Japan, but I've heard from people who've got the physical copy. It's really good quality. It's great paper. It's really nice printing. So do look out for that. If you're a fan of cowboys, westerns, the old Wild West, if you like some good rooting tooting gun action and good storytelling, do give this a look. Yeah, definitely give it a try. It's getting pretty highly rated, but I think it's kind of coming in under the radar. It's not a massive title, it's not getting loads of publicity, but it does deserve your attention. Oh, almost forgot yet again. This gets a very strong Wakizashi 9 out of 10. Okay, as usual, I'll give a short story summary without spoiling the ending. I'm just going to show maybe the first half of the book and give you a look at some of the art and some of the writing inside. So please keep watching. Here we go. Okay, here's a brief synopsis. The That Texas Blood duo returns to Ambrose County, Texas, with an all-new miniseries set 150 years in the past. Gunslinging action meets dark frontier drama in this original Western thriller as Montgomery Enfield and his gang of outlaws find themselves in the crosshairs of an aging Texas Ranger and a newborn county that's hungry for law. Chapter 1. The Bad Death of Bill Barley. We open in Oklahoma 1906. We see Doc Malady's Wild West sideshow in the background. He's introducing a sight to be seen inside the tent. It appears to be a mummified corpse, a dead body. Let's read a little bit from this page. Here before you, some might say, is the Wild West incarnate. A man, yes, but a man too wild to live. Of his dark deeds I shall remind you, if you've the belly for it. You've likely heard tales of the Enfield Gang, some taller than others. Heard of the murder, the mayhem, and of course, the massacre. But you've never heard it like this. Then we get the next page, a younger version of Enfield. Here he is. If you check the scar on his cheek, we go back one page, you can see on the corpse. I guess it must be him because that looks like the same scar to me. Okay, on this page we get a setting. It's Fort Lahane, Texas, 1875. There's a bank robbery going on. God help me, you again? Enfield's walking out with a big bag of money, and the bank teller's saying, "These outlaw days are numbered. It's time to go straight or you're good as dead. This community's hungry for law. Bill, see you next month." And then we get the classic Tarnation. We see the gang galloping off on the horses, firing the guns. Then we switch scenes to what appears to be a town meeting. The Denzians of the area complaining about how the Enfield gang's been harassing them, the trouble they're causing. "We don't feel safe walking down the streets." It turns out they appointed a sheriff, but that sheriff, so-called lawman, ain't done a thing since he put the star on his jacket. They need somebody who's willing to take on Enfield. And in walks what appears to be a Texas Ranger. He's called Captain Eli. But the Texas Ranger doesn't seem too keen to get his hands soiled, as he says. He moved out here for peace and quiet. Then the meeting gets interrupted by a cry of murder. In walks a young man, he's bleeding. Murder at the bank. Bill Barley's dead. The bleeding man is about to tell who shot Bill Barley, but he dies in front of them. Then we switch scenes again to the Enfield gang. We see them counting their money. So it's suggesting that they did it, but I reckon there's more to this than meets the eye, as they say. Okay, just let me show one more page, mainly just for the art. Look at this. What a gorgeous centre panel there. It's so atmospheric, moody. Great art by Jacob Phillips, and the colouring as well. Yeah. Okay, so I'll end my story summary here because, as I say, I don't want to spoil it. But there are still over 10 pages of story to go. Okay, there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Here we have a preview of the cover for issue 2, which I guess is out in 1 month's time. Looking good. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the review. Do let me know if you've even heard of this series. Were you a reader or a fan of That Texas Blood? And yeah, do you know Chris Condon, the writer, or Jacob Phillips, the artist? I'm sure you must have heard of Sean Phillips, yeah? Okay, anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. This is Gray from Wakazashi's Tea House, out in Japan, not the old Wild West, saying matane.